Yeah, I know what type of time I'm on when I step in the scene, man. Had them bottles ready, had them sparkles ready. It's gonna be a good night. Last time around, it was different. Somebody tell them pay attention, nigga.
Yep. Welcome to the brand new episode of Another Shit Podcast. It's your boy John, my co-host Bree, and let's jump right into it. Unfortunately, we don't have to start this week's episode with some sad, tragic news. Earlier this week, there's a lot of news going around about it, but the end result was Takeoff of the Migos was shot and killed in Houston. Uh, there's been conflicting reports and all types of reports of what took place, what was the cause of the situation, but it's still kind of fresh. It happened Halloween night, so still the details and everything will come out and be more clear as time moves on. But I'd say my condolences to his loved ones and to his fans. I know he was someone that a lot of people liked in the group.
Right.
But it's just a tragic situation, and with the tragic situation, it's just another rapper killed in a situation that's necessarily could have most likely been avoidable, and just like that, also images and videos of his demise circulated social media. Something I don't agree with. I feel like overall, celebrity or not, regular person, celebrity or not, or a regular person, I feel strongly that when a situation like this happens, the last thing people should be doing is pulling out their phones to record the scene, because he's not the only. There's other cases of other rappers that were recorded in their final moments and in a tragic situation, but there's also videos of regular people. You can look it up on the internet. You can find other incidents of shit ended up on camera. I just feel like that's the last thing that should happen when something as tragic as this takes place. But it's sad news, sad when it's like a pod. Bree, when you heard the news, what was your thoughts on it?
When I heard the news, I just was like, damn, another brother. Not even another rapper, just another brother passed. And it just like, so I was trying to avoid videos of his death and the moment of him and Quavo. And I was just trying to avoid that because it's just, I think of it this way, right? I have a son, I have a husband, and would I want that shit, his last few minutes of his life to be on Instagram or Facebook?
Love to see it.
Right. And I wouldn't, and I wouldn't want nobody to go checking for it. I wouldn't want nobody to go looking for it. To be honest, I wouldn't want nobody to see it. I think those are private moments, and even though it's done in public, I think we've gotten to the point where we've lost the sympathy note of understanding that this person is losing their life. Whether let's just say if anybody would survive that, it's a moment within their lives. I don't think anybody wants to be filmed or have filmed.
Yeah, it's just tragic because that's circulated. That circulated fast. You've seen pictures.
It went so fast, and I just listen. I'm here for Quavo. I'm here for like even Offset. People are saying like they're not gonna send their condolences to Offset because they have beef. No matter how much time or beef they have, they were family. That group was a family group, and so Offset has a right to mourn and to feel. You get what I'm saying to you? So shout out to Offset and Quavo and the rest of the family, man. Like that's hard to swallow. It's hard to take. Um, damn, I just feel like we need to get to the point in life where if we are picking up our phones, it's to call for help. It's not to videotape. And so I don't know. That situation was just
Yeah, it's just tragic, but it joins like the long list of other videos. Like people, because
yeah, even when
even in
PN
the situation, they had footage of PNB while he was on the ground. They had footage of that. That one is another one that does look bad. And you go.
Yeah, I didn't watch that one. I don't. I listen. I'm a person. I don't like to watch death. Even in the funeral, I don't go to the front to see the dead body. I don't like to watch death. I'm not. I'm just that type of person. So I just don't agree with this. I just don't. We live in a time and an age where it's everything needs to be recorded. Everything needs to be posted. Everything needs to be seen. And that's just not the case all the time. So
yeah,
shout
something
out to
with that, but because again, there's just a long list of line of famous people. Famous people draw more. It draws more attention because they're famous, but there's also regular people that end up on the internet too. It's like it's not people just record death, unfortunate situations, and people just constantly record it and then put it on social media, and then once it hits the internet, it's on the internet forever for the most part. I'm pretty sure people are gonna do jobs what they can to take certain videos down, but once it hits the internet, it's on the internet forever. Just unfortunate. But again, condolences to the family, the loved one. But it's just sad news. She was 28 years old. They just dropped the project. They dropped a new video of the project like two days, a day or two before the unfortunate events, and it was like they was doing their thing, and then, again there was uncle and nephew,
right.
just sad, tragic, and unfortunately, such sad and tragic news continues to plague the hip hop community. It's just one after the other. It continues. Something needs to change. Hopefully, something changes.
I just hope Quavo don't come back on some retaliation shit. I pray for his sanity, because sometimes certain things could make you snap, and we just don't know if this.
I understand what you're saying, because he literally was like, what I'm trying to say, he was there, like, say he was standing there, he like seen that, like, it's not like he wasn't there and something someone told him like, oh, this happened. He was literally there. So for the most part, I'm not gonna say he's seen it happen, but he's seen the end result of what took place. Like in the midst of the fighting and shooting, he's seen his nephew in a bad way, and I don't think that's something that's ever gonna leave his mind. So.
Yeah, no, it's not. But I'm just saying I pray for sanity. I just pray for him to get the healing that he needs, because that could make you go crazy.
No, yeah, because I'm pretty sure no one ever wants to see their loved one in that kind of situation, in that way. He's seen his nephew in the worst way possible, and it's very, very, very unfortunate that he witnessed that, and he was, this is very, very unfortunate.
Right.
Sad stuff. Sad. It was just, just sad. And 28 years old. We still had a long life to live and other things to accomplish and other stuff to do. And, life just, tragically cut short. Very unfortunate. We're going to, we're going to keep it music, but, more of a lighter conversation than what we started off with. Rihanna, new music from Rihanna. We talked about she wanted albums from Rihanna. I said, no, necessarily Rihanna don't necessarily need to put out albums, because Rihanna is a billionaire. She's eating, she's living a life. But no, Rihanna dropped a single for the soundtrack for the new Black Panther movie, Black Panther 2: Wakanda Forever. What was your thoughts on the song? Does the song make you want her more to drop an album?
I never said I wanted her to drop an album.
Yes, you did.
Mm-mm.
You gotta go back to you definitely said she needed to drop an album.
I did not say I personally want Rihanna to drop an album.
Maybe you not personally, but you definitely said she needed to drop an album.
I said for the fans, she need to drop an album. She started off with music, and I remember we was talking about her becoming a billionaire or something in the sense of her becoming famous off of her clothes and her
the fencing.
right. So what I said was, what she needs to do is drop an album for her fans. I'm not the biggest Rihanna fan because her and Beyonce had their moment where it was her against Beyonce, and of course you know who I'm going to. I was never a Rihanna big fan. I mean, I love some of her music. Some of her music I could bump out to. She's better. I'd rather them compare Rihanna to Beyonce than Doja Cat, but Rihanna, I'm not the biggest fan of Rihanna, so I know you lying when you say I wanted another album. I said she needs to drop an album for her fans, and so I did listen to the song because I'm a Wakanda forever. I'm a Wakandan forever, so I did listen to the song, and it's decent. I mean,
I think that song fits for everything that's probably gonna take place in that movie. I think that was a good.
Let's be real. Let's be real. It didn't make me want to hear an album.
Oh, so basically, now you see she's siding with me, saying she could just do whatever she wants. She could chill, live life.
No, she needs to put out music for her fans, okay? Because originally that's how she started, okay? I'm not agreeing with you that she could do whatever she wants. Still got to put out music, but this particular song just wasn't hitting. It hits for the movie, but it doesn't hit for people to be like, oh yeah, I want to hear more Rihanna. The problem here is Rihanna just needs to drop a song regular, not for a movie, not for a person, because I feel like this song was for Chad Boswick. But I'm saying she needs to just drop music so we can have something to hear. You saying she ain't got to do shit with music. She can do whatever the fuck she want. And I'm telling you that doesn't make sense to me when your beginning starts were music. So she hasn't done music in almost more than 5 years.
Hasn't dropped the album in like 6 years.
So this is becoming it's just becoming like, yo, so she's not an artist no more. She's just a businesswoman. So take the artistry.
Surpassed her music.
Right, but who surpasses the music? That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense to me.
It does. Obviously, it's just one of those things that obviously they made it so big in one field. When they transition to the next field, it's like, oh shit. But when they transition and still successful, it's like you may want them to do what you enjoyed and what you followed them for, but they're doing what they're doing and they succeed.
Yeah, that just to me sounds like bullshit. But I mean, okay, Johnny, I guess. I mean, the song wasn't that good for me to be like, oh my God, is she coming out with an album?
I thought the song was dope, but
I just said it was good, but it wasn't. You just asked the question, Johnny. Do I think the song was good enough for me to want an album? And I just no.
Oh yeah, no, there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, that's it. That's just
good enough that now you think that song was good enough that now you want an album? You're so full of shit.
I would say it was the fact that she dropped something piques more interest for her to drop an album. The fact that she dropped something. This is technically her first single in 6 years.
Such a follower.
Wow. It's gonna build interest. It's the first single she dropped in 6 years. Even though it's for the soundtrack, but it's her song.
Let me sip my coffee.
She's been on other people's records in the past 6 years. She's been on other people's songs. Yeah. When was the last Rihanna album? 2016?
I don't know. Didn't I just tell you I'm not the biggest fan of Rihanna?
You did state that.
I'm not the biggest fan of Rihanna. It is what it is. People say I'm crazy. She's no Beyonce.
Her last album, Anti, came out 2016. Anti. I said anti. 2016. Oh yeah, 6 years. But she was on a few songs though in the past couple of years. She was on Kendrick album. Kendrick album was 2017. Yeah, Kendrick album was 2017. She was on Dance. She was on a couple of records, but she hasn't put out anything that's basically her record in 6 years. But no, dope that she put out a new song. I think the song fits for the soundtrack. If she decides to come out with an album, if this, inspires her to do an album, that would be dope for her fans. But we'll keep a look out on that. But that's it.
I didn't keep an eye on that.
You said what?
Huh?
No, you said something. I'm saying. You said what?
I'm not keeping a lookout on that. I legit don't think she's going to pull out an album.
Probably not. She don't need to.
She don't need to. Yeah. Listen. You need to do what made you famous, sweetie. You need to do what got you to the place where you at. I think the problem I have with you, Johnny, is I think you forget that these people didn't make it there just because they made it there. They made it there because they built a fan base of what they do. Rihanna made it there because she built a fan base on her music, not from her clothing line or her makeup. She made it there by making music. People fell in love with her music, and that route let me not say we, because they fell in love with her. With that being said,
but no, look.
So in that sense, yes, you can do whatever you want, but just remember what made you famous was the music. Okay, Joe.
Oh, but there's plenty of people that was made famous in music that don't need to drop albums anymore.
Whom?
Ice Cube, LL Cool J. They got famous through music, and they went into another field. And if they decide to drop music, they can, but they don't have to.
Okay.
Jay-Z don't got to drop music neither.
Who?
Jay-Z.
Jay-Z doesn't, but the fact that Jay-Z still does is the shit.
When's the last time he dropped the album?
He dropped the shit with him and B. On the Run.
That was a few years back. I think the last thing he did was the 444. That was the last project he dropped. It was the last project he dropped was 444.
I think he did that thing with the Beyonce after that.
Yeah, 444 dropped 2017. He dropped everything. He dropped Everything Is Love with Beyonce in 2018.
Yeah. But see, the difference is Jay is not trying to do, like, Jay does other things, but Jay will always come back to music. Always. It doesn't matter what you say, no matter what anybody says. If Jay retired, it's because Jay's retired. Jay really not doing dabbling in other shit either. He's not, you don't hear him dabbling in other shit, even though he probably is, like, business-wise. But Jay will always come back to music. Jay wouldn't, I don't care what anybody says, I don't think Jay will completely leave music alone, ever, in his life.
Probably not, but I'm just saying he doesn't necessarily drop an album. He does.
Again,
he could if he wants.
I don't think he will drop albums, but I think Jay does do things with music, and he will always, if Jay right now felt like dropping an album, all you dumbasses would go listen to it.
Yeah, why not?
Including my husband.
But why not? Listen, I'm because I say he doesn't need to drop an album. Doesn't let's say if he drops, I'm not gonna listen to it. I'm just saying he's at a point in life what he's doing. He's very successful at. He's past.
But he also has done it longer than Rihanna, Johnny. So yes, at a time you do retire from something. Yes, everybody retires from something. Jay has been doing music for years. It's not like he did it for 4 years and made him famous and then he stopped.
Now, look,
It has been.
you're
missing the. You're missing the point.
I gotta finish the point. Finish the point. Now I'm gonna say my point. Now finish the point.
Missing the point. Johnny, Jay-Z has been doing it for X amount of years, right? He's been doing it since. Let's look back. Jay-Z's been doing this shit since he.
90s. He's been doing it since probably
1996. 1996.
He's been doing it longer than that, but that was just his first album.
Right. Rihanna only has. Jay-Z has a whole bunch of albums. Rihanna's been doing this 2005, and she stopped at 2016. She only has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 albums.
In 11 years, it's not bad.
Again, I just don't think. I personally don't think she's giving us all her musical lyrics.
All right, look. I'm gonna use a point that you just used. Basically, you said Jay-Z been doing it longer, right? And Rihanna's been doing it in less time, and Rihanna still reached billionaire status.
But she didn't reach billionaire status with her music. She reached it with other shit.
Yeah, but
Jay-Z
played a role in it.
He reached that shit with his music. Jay-Z, again.
Yeah, music played a role, and Jay-Z had other business ventures that he did help him get there. Music,
right? Yeah, music-wise, you can say music-wise, he reached millionaire status, reaching close to where he. Again, I get what you're saying, but it wasn't until she had Fenty and Savage that she reached that billionaire status. Her music alone did not reach her there.
All right, that's the point. She's touched a status that her music didn't get there. Her other stuff got her there, so now she can chill.
All right, Johnny, I'm done having this conversation.
Just one of many things.
I'm not looking for a Rihanna album.
Huh?
I'm not looking for a Rihanna album. My Beyonce has 3 more albums to release to complete this saga.
Oh man.
It's the truth though. It's the truth though. Beyonce's done clothing. Beyonce's done movies, but Beyonce will always come back to music because she's an artist. That's the difference.
Both are great artists. This one doesn't necessarily needs to dabble music anymore, but we'll casually leave this topic, agree to disagree, and we'll keep it music again as we talk about Ashanti. Ashanti's on a little press run. She had the interview with Angie Martinez on Angie Martinez podcast. She had a Hot 97 interview. She dropped a single. Take it away, Bree.
No, you take it away. Did you watch the Ashanti interview with Angie Martinez? I'm gonna call you out on this pod.
I've seen a few clips. I didn't see the whole interview.
See, guys, you see what I gotta deal with. Listen, I watched it. On my way to work. I watched it. I watched it twice, and I'm gonna tell you why I watched it twice. I thought maybe I missed something while in that interview because she never once denied or confirmed her fucking Gotti. Not once. But what she did say was that she was there. She wanted to defend the fact that she was there for the court cases. She wanted to defend that her and Ja are cool now because they talked about it. But she never once denied or confirmed them fucking around. She said, "This is Gotti. This is Irv. We know Irv. This is how he talks. This is nothing new, right?" And then she proceeded to say, "But it was something to him that it wasn't to her."
So, basically,
which pissed me off, Johnny, and I'm gonna tell you why it pisses me off. Because if a man would have said that about a woman, let's just say if Irv would have said that about her, she thought this was more than what it was. To me, it was just a fucking thing, and to her, it was a relationship. We would have sided with the woman and said, "Well, that's really fucked up of you, Irv, because you should have told her what it was." So my whole thing with Ashanti is, if he thought that and you didn't think that, or that wasn't what it was to you, when did you have a conversation with Irv and tell Irv, yo, this is not a relationship. This is not something that's, boyfriend and girlfriend. We just fucking. So if that was the case, then she was fucking wrong, and not in the sense of not telling him what it was.
But do you think, her being signed to the label that's his didn't play a role in it? Like I would say, she did, for the fact that she was basically on the label, so she just viewed it differently. She didn't view it as regular. Like,
well, then
the situation differently.
What she was basically trying to get in with Gotti. To me, then the sense of she was trying to fuck her way to the top is what happened there. And I'm just gonna say that to say it because it just doesn't.
It was that, but I'm just saying, like, maybe.
But
like,
that's how she made it seem like to me. And then once she got to the status of where she got to, because I'm not gonna take away from Ashanti that Ashanti is a great writer. If Ashanti claims she wrote all her songs, okay, and then she would take it to Irv, and Irv would like hook up the beat. Him and her producer would hook up the beat, and they would make the hit together. As in, like, she had the lyrics, he had the beats, right? So I'm not gonna take away from her. I think a lot of times women do get overlooked in the industry, and so she found a way to not be overlooked. What I'm gonna say to you is, I hated this interview in the sense that Angie Martinez seemed like she was picking a side.
Okay, so you say she wasn't objective throughout the interview?
No, I don't think she was objective at all through this interview. It sounded like she was asking Ashanti questions which downplayed Irv's point of view, or Irv's saying, or Irv's any of that. I think my problem with Angie Martinez, this was supposed to be just a flat surface. Did you fuck Gotti? Did you do this? What happened in the relationship? But with her, it was like, yeah, he said some disgusting things. How did you respond to that? How did you? If I ask you a question like that, that gives off the sense that he is this disgusting man. And how did that make you feel? Like, it becomes one-sided. On Drink Champs, they didn't ask him one-sided questions. Gotti made it one-sided, but they made it very just, there was no objection. There was nothing there that, you get what I'm saying, made it seem like Ashanti was this person.
Yeah, I feel like maybe she's more offended. She said that's how you talk. Maybe even with how you talk, it still offended her in a way. Even though she's used to how you talk, she just was like,
Again, I hate that we accept her story, her point of view, but we can't accept his. She said that he was angry, that he was this, he was that.
Two people just telling their sides of the story.
But we downplay him for telling his side of the story, and because she's saying he wanted to promote the doc. Well, the only reason why you doing the response interviews now is because you want to promote your music. So which one is wrong, John? You get what I'm saying?
No, but I'm gonna tell you, I'm not gonna say who's wrong, but it's just more of as a man is not, you know what I'm trying to say? It's the route Earth God, he said, there's nothing wrong, he's telling his side of the story, but for the most part, it's usually more of the norm if a woman is more of telling the details versus a man. A man telling the truth and details and like this concept of these type of stories doesn't get the what's the word for it? It just doesn't get the same. I can't think of a word for it, but it's just not the same. It's just not. It just again when a female comes out and spills everything and lets it be known this what we was doing this that. Either some people's gonna believe it or some people's gonna think she's lying. But for the most part, I would say it's more expected of the female to be the one to spill up like all the beans versus a guy coming out and spilling all the beans. Is that what?
What's the point of drink champs?
Just to tell stories. I'm just talking about
No. What the point of drink champs is these niggas sitting down having drinks, talking bullshit, right?
Yeah.
To me, now you can say I'm wrong because I'm a woman, but when you get around the Dons, or used to get around the Dons, was it not talking bullshit about who they fucked and how they fucked? Be honest. In college days, not now because most of them are married.
No, I see what you're saying, but the point.
So this conversation was had in drink champs where they were drinking and.
Yeah, but no, the difference is one is more in a private setting versus more in a public platform. It's just for a man to do that in a public setting is more frowned upon than if a woman does it. You know what I'm trying to say? That's just how it is. Men are just men. Obviously, men talk. They're gonna talk to their peoples and brag or whatnot. It's more accepted when it's when they do it that way. It's like they tell their people, I did this, I did that, behind the scenes. But in a public platform, it's just for a man to be like, yo, I fucked up. It's more frowned upon for men to come out and say what they did with who.
I don't think that's true.
That's how it is.
I don't think that's true, Johnny. I just don't.
Because Gotti's situation is more an example of it. He was saying what he was saying, and did was it like, oh shit, dope, or it was more of he got backlash for all the shit he was talking about. It's like, oh shit, why? And then knew that he confirmed that. Oh shit. It was more like, okay, why is he saying that? It's because, when a guy does it, it's just more frowned upon. A guy's supposed to be the person that's it's just supposed to do and not speak on it. It's just, that's how I feel like that's what the norm is. You do and don't speak on it. And that's what I'm saying. When he said it,
I just don't know where you grew up where that was okay. Girls never spoke about it because if you did, you was labeled as hoes or whatever. Most guys, they talked about it in public settings and that's how the schools and stuff was finding out because they would talk about it in public settings about who they fucked. Now, I think because Ashanti is the sweetheart and she barely says anything, when Gotti said it, when Irv said it, it backlashed on him. But I don't think Bow Wow has done it. It hasn't backlashed on him. There's a lot of other people who have done it. Future has done it, who he's talked about who he's fucked and how he fucked them, and in interviews, and it hasn't backlashed on him. I think because of who Irv talked about, it backlashed. But if it would have been some other bitch, if it would have been like Black China, he was talking, it would have never backlashed. But because it was Ashanti, because it was like this sweetheart girl, it backlashed because it was like, first of all, he was married. Two, it was like, what? Ashanti? Never. So again, and because she's loved by so many guys in the industry, like Joe came to her, again, because of that, the backlash hit him. But I don't think it's fair to say to him that he's not allowed to tell his story or what happened in his fucking business because it's frowned upon. No, because if that was the case,
I'm just saying. I just feel like that's why he got more backlash. But he's allowed to tell his story. Everyone is allowed to tell their story, and not do that. And I just feel like the way he was talking rubbed people the wrong way, and then what he was talking about then rubbed people wrong. Maybe because he was talking about Ashanti, rubbed people the wrong way. Maybe that did play a role in it, but
like Devin would say, that's Irv, and that like Dame Dash. The way Dame Dash talks, I hate it. I hate the way he talks. Watching him on Growing Up Hip Hop on WeTV, he's the most disrespectful person ever. The way he talks to his fucking kids, but that's the way he talks. That's Devin says that Jay-Z said that's just Dame. That's just always been Dame.
Everyone, some people just talk differently. It's just, and
right.
And still like, oh, that's how they talk.
Right, but watching Irv on his, I told you he had a show prior to this. He had a show, and watching him on even growing up hip hop. He was on Growing Up Hip Hop with his 2 kids and his ex-wife. Watching that, you could tell this is how Irv talks, period. So when I saw the interview, I'm like, he's just stupid. But this is his story. Who are we and who is she to say he can't tell his story?
Yeah, everyone's time to everyone's allowed to speak their story, but it's just maybe he said it, or people the way obviously that's how he talked, but the way he talked rubbed people the wrong way.
Again, Johnny, I just find it convenient for her that she's starting to do these interviews now to respond to him. That Drink Champ interview was like a whole month ago. She waited for her shit to almost be out, her songs, her music to almost be out, to now do these interviews and now conveniently talk about it. Come on, man, get the fuck out of here.
I'm saying you can take away from the interview, but hey, it's strategic, but then when you look at it that way, it kind of alters your view on what you're saying is, because now it's like, are you really responding, or are you responding because you got all this in the works? But that's just, unfortunately, that's just part of the game,
Right.
People, you say something about certain people, they're not going to respond at that time, or they might, or they're going to wait till they got something in the motion, and when they got whatever project in the motion, that's when they all start responding, because they'll not 2 birds in one stone. They'll respond, and then in the same token, promote whatever they're doing and whatever's coming out. So that's just how it works.
Right.
It may take away from the actual, her genuinely like defending herself or whatnot a bit, but that's just how it works. I'm gonna tackle 2 things at once. I'm gonna respond, and then saying I'm gonna promote my new stuff and what's coming out. It just works that way. But we'll leave it at that. We're going to now transition to a topic I know you hate to talk about, and it's been a topic that's, I would say, we've discussed at least 70% of the ASO episode, and that's the ongoing Ye saga. He's been on a, apology, saying his apology in the midst of all the stuff that was coming out. They try to say, I'm not gonna lie, they try to say he's, I know, like, with some of these stories, at this point, like, obviously he said some things that got people wrong, but they try to say he's fascinated with Hitler. He has a fascination with Hitler. I'm like, God, they going now they're dragging this story. Like, if you don't fuck with him, you don't fuck with him. But now they trying to put that out. I was like, all right, come on.
Listen. Ye is still a person, and he's still a human being. So I'm gonna feel for Ye. But see, Johnny, this is what happens when you talk a lot. When you talk like,
it's not simple.
When you talk like this, you give people the opportunity to say things like they're saying about him. But what I am gonna say is that I just hate that Ye is apologizing for the Jewish comments, but not apologizing for the black comments.
Oh, he attempted to, he apologized for the George.
Right, I didn't cancel Ye for the anti-Semitic comments. I canceled Ye for the black comments. And the reason why I canceled him in my books for the black comments was because the black community is what you was leaning on or leaning for when you put out most of your albums in the beginning, and we were those people that was with you in the beginning. And so for you to turn around and turn your back on us, felt some type of way. The anti-Semitic comments, I mean, I guess, but
Oh wow.
no, I mean, any hate comments is hate comments. Period. When you speak hate, you're gonna get this backlash. It is what it is. But I'm saying for me personally, as a black woman and who has a black child and a black husband, yeah, I was really upset that he made those black comments, and I would love for him to apologize for those black comments. Now,
No,
I'm not gonna.
He took an attempt. I don't know if most people agree with his apology, liked his apology, but he took his attempt in apology.
He apologized to George Floyd's family. He didn't apologize, Johnny, for the black comments he made. He apologized for what he said about George Floyd, and that apology probably needs to get a little bit more attention from that family, and he needs to go talk to that family and do some damage control. But he never apologized for the black hate comments he made, even though he's black. I told you, my doctor pulled me in the room and was like, they trying to cut his free speech. He's a big Ye fan, and this is a older white Caucasian man, and he was like, yo, they trying to censor what he says, and it's because they own this and this and that. And he actually gave to the GoFundMe account that they have for you.
I love you, but I would.
He wouldn't tell me how much. He just said it was a large and significant amount, and I was like, well, that's
a large significant amount.
Yeah, and I was like, well, if that's the case, I have a GoFundMe account too.
Yeah, like. To tell them the ASO GoFundMe. ASO GoFundMe. Fund us.
He said he gave a large significant amount because he felt like because they censoring what he's saying.
It's just, again, Kanye has been talking a lot, so it's like a lot of what he's saying, like a lot of the good that he's saying actually is just being overshadowed by the nonsense and the other stuff that other things are saying. So it's like he's saying a lot. He's saying things that's like, why he say that? But then he's saying shit that's like, oh, you gotta pay attention to what he's saying. But he's saying it all at once. So it's like obviously they're gonna have the bad overshadow the good, and you try to use the bad to to just clear his way. But he's saying a lot though,
My whole thing with Ye too is if you're gonna say it, stand on it. I hate when people say stuff and they don't stand on it. Say it, stand on it, and fight it through. Okay? When Nick Cannon said the thing what he said about Jewish people, he faltered. He didn't stand on it. And nothing that Nick said was bad. Nick said the truth. The fucking truth.
Well,
and
he lost his show. Yeah. And when he fell back, he got his show back. Remember, he said what he said, and he lost while
I'd rather you stand on what the fuck you say.
Oh, I agree with you, but
I can't support. So my whole thing is, after he got Wildin' back out, once he got Wildin' out back, I couldn't watch it. My nigga, you said it, stand on it. Stand on it. I'd rather stick with you and support you as an artist or support you as a business person when you stand on what you said. I would give so much more. I may not fuck with Kanye, But I will give Kanye so much. If he stands out, what the fuck he says. Now you just look like you just everywhere because you can't stand on this. You can't stand on what you said about this. You comparing yourself to George Floyd and my nigga, you all over the fucking place. Stand on what you said. Say I stand on it. Because if especially Kanye, if Kanye says I'm gonna stand on it and fuck this shit, I'm gonna make my own sneaker company where I can make my own shit in-house, in factory house. I'm gonna make motherfuckers still like you will go buy his shit because y'all are not just fans, y'all cults. So if he was, even if he was to say, he was to say and stand on it, Johnny, you telling me he made his own shit that wasn't part of like Balenciaga or Adidas or any of that or Nike or Gap, you wouldn't still go buy his shit?
The shit was fire. I buy it.
So what I'm saying to you is he doesn't need the people around him. If Kanye was to say, I'm gonna stand on it, I'm gonna build on it, and I'm gonna make my own shit, people like you would still go buy his shit because
I'm not a I'm not.
But now that he's like, no, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say it. You sound like a whole mess, motherfucker. Go sit down now. Just sit down. Just sit down. Just
all follow and support, yeah, but it's just
I'm not because I'd rather him have stand on it, said this is my truth, and I would have been like, you know what, yay, says that's your fucking truth. That's your fucking truth. But he all over the place. And you know it's right. You know I'm right. He's all over the fucking place. I can't deal with this. I can't keep talking about Ye. Ye gives me a headache. Ye, listen, when that nigga said, I know what it feels like to have somebody on your neck. Motherfucker, you just haven't learned yet. You just haven't learned.
It was a bad analogy, but we all got the point. It was a bad analogy.
Not the point. But motherfucker, it don't need to be said sometimes. Why couldn't he just say, I'm sorry? Oh my God, this motherfucker. There you go, defending him. Again, not everything needs a fucking analogy. Just fucking say, yo, I'm sorry.
Nah, but he's basically, again, it may have not been the best analogy, but basically saying, oh, look, I said what I said, and look, everything they took away from me. He's basically saying they applied the pressure on him, and that's what took place. They put pressure on him, but he could have used any other words, and people would still got the point. People would still got the point. Obviously, that analogy is gonna rub people the wrong way, but people would have got the point. Either he would have substituted anything else instead of saying what he said. But we see what's taking place and what's going on with him, but it looks like the Ye saga will continue, and we'll continue to cover it. It is what it is. You said what?
Huh?
It's okay. We'll leave it there. We're going to transition to another musician. He's big in the early 2000s, and that's when his little run of music was. But Chingy ended up on the list of 50 worst rappers, and he responded to the list. Do you think he's one of the 50 worst rappers, or there are?
Hell no! You're not gonna sit there and play motherfucking Chingy. No, we not. No, we're not gonna do that. Cause to this day, his shit still gets played. To this day, his shit still gets like right there. You can't tell me when that shit comes on, not everybody fucking starts to dance. Nah, we're not gonna play Chingy like that. I hate that. Like he said, I love the analogy he gave. You cannot downplay somebody when their record sales say something else.
That does.
Don't say what I think you're gonna say. But
that plays a role. What you was gonna say?
I thought you were gonna say something else. Okay, forget it.
I would say that plays a role, but you could. Music is very subjective, you know. Like obviously, you can't say there's good music without there being bad music, and vice versa. But music is very, very subjective. There's a lot of music that where you can consider bad, the next person consider good. You consider good, the next person considers bad. It's very subjective. Music makes different feel things. But with it that being said, there's the clear cut good song, and there's the clear cut, oh, that song is just trash. But there's also songs that will be considered trash that had successful runs and made money, even though we thought the song was trash. They made it played enough on the radio to get people to, oh, nah. They may have never liked it, but it still got played. And there's some good songs that don't have the success as songs as it's just music it's just like different ways that things could go. It could be, again, a trash song could be successful. A good song could be not as successful as a trash song. But it's just like, it's a whole bunch of factors going with it. Do I consider him one of the 50 greatest rappers? I mean, worst rappers? I would have to go through a list because the pool for rappers has increased over the years. There's so many rappers. Do I think he finds his way from the 50 worst? In my opinion, probably not. But if I was to go through it and really like, all right, this rapper sucks. And not me saying these rappers sucks, they can still have success and be making money, but in my terms of what makes a rapper good, they may not fit that. But that's what I'm saying. Music is very subjective. So I don't know. Is he one of the 50 worst rappers? I'm gonna say probably not. But if you do a full breakdown, who's to say he doesn't crack the list? That's just my opinion. Your opinion is he's definitely not one of the 50th worst rappers. So you basically say you can make 50 rappers worse than him.
No.
At the moment, but maybe you can name 50 worst rappers than him. But
So I have the list, okay? So at 51 is Cash is.
Cassius.
Right. 50 is Hurricane Chris. 49 is Soldier Boy. 48 is Young Buck. 47 is Jermaine Dupri. 46 is Missy Elliott. 45 is Daddy Yankee. 44 is Mike Jones. 43 is Akon. 42 is Bizarre.
Yeah, D12.
Right. 41 is Fabulous. 40 is Black Eyed Peas. 39 is Mims. 38 is Gym Class Heroes. 37 is Nick Cannon. 36 is Little Kim. 35 is Jibs. 34 is Young Jock. 33 is Mystical. 32 is Trina. 31 is Bad Boy the Prince. 30 is Flavor Flav. 29 is Jim Jones. 28 is Tony Yayo. 27 is Benzino. 26 is Master P. 25 is Dumb French Boy. 24 is Boozy Baddies.
Boozy.
23 Boozy, yeah. 23 is Chris Cross. 22 is P. Diddy. 21, you may not like this, is Lloyd Banks.
That's
20.
Very disrespectful.
20 is Yang Yang Twin. 19 is Little Flip. 18 is Spider Lock.
Spider Lock.
Ooh, you really definitely not gonna like this. 17 is G Unit.
Yeah, this list is ridiculous, but keep going.
16 is Shaq O'Neal. 15 is Chingy. Number 14, you really about to curse the fuck out. It's 50 Cent.
Oh yeah.
13, huh?
I said, nah, this list went crazy, but okay.
13 is Nelly. That's crazy. 12 is Shot Boys. 11 is Ron Artest. I don't even know who that is.
Ron Artest, basketball player.
10 is Little Romeo. 9 is D for Life. D for Life.
Wow, yeah. They're from down south.
Number 8 is Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. I love Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. Number 7 is Paul Wall. Number 6 is Little John and the East Side Boys. Number 5 is Ja Rule.
Okay.
Number 4 is E40.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3 is Vanilla Ice. Number 2 is Kevin Federline. And number 1 is Insane Clown Poses.
This list is bad. There's a lot of bad rappers that didn't make this list, and I don't know how they make the list. But this list is some names that should be nowhere near this list.
Like who?
Fab.
Fabulous. Okay.
Fab, Jim Jones, Banks, 50, G-Unit.
Nelly.
Nelly shouldn't be on this list neither. Shit, Missy Elliott shouldn't be on this list. Lil Kim shouldn't be on this list. Trying to remember all the names. That's a good bunch of names that shouldn't be on this list. But there's a couple of names I missed that shouldn't be on this list. There's a couple of names I missed that shouldn't be on this list. This list is so disrespectful. Say what? That list is disrespectful.
But I think this is what Chingy was talking about, according to what made this list. The numbers of 50 Cent, G, even though I don't like 50 Cent or G Unit, the numbers that G Unit, 50 Cent, even Lloyd, what was the Young Buck, they have made.
Yeah, they've had some. They put up good numbers. Yeah, they've sold albums. People was listening to them. That's what I'm saying. So it's like it does take the place of what the criteria was and why they put this list together. Whoever put this list, why they put these certain rappers on this list. But again, a lot of these rappers, I'm not gonna say a lot, but there's a good bunch of names that should not be nowhere near this list. Not saying they're the greatest at what they do, but I know they're not nowhere near the 50 wackest in what they do, you know? They're not nowhere near that. They're much closer to the good than they are to the bad. And it's just, right. I don't know what was the what you call the actual criteria, because everyone has the criteria on what they see and what makes a good rapper good and what makes a rapper bad. Everyone's criteria is a little bit different. Some people say lyrics, bars, all other stuff that come with it, lyrics, bars, content, delivery, flow, and many other stuff. Like everyone has different criteria, But this is crazy. Does
that change your point of view?
It doesn't change my point of view that music's still subjective, because at the end of the day, there's still gonna be people that believe this list. Even if I say it's wrong and you may not agree with this list, there's still gonna be people that think that list is correct. That's what I'm just saying. Like, because music, when it comes to music, there's not. If you do straight numbers and thing, it's more. If you do straight numbers, it's more something that you could say like. It's like a boom. Oh, look, they such and such got these numbers. You can't say nothing bad about it because they have these numbers. But fortunately, when it comes to music, the numbers are a factor, but don't necessarily hold. because some numbers could be inflated or whatnot, and it's just. But I totally, disagree with a few names on this list. I feel like there's some other rappers that could have been put on this list that wasn't put on this list. But in my opinion, I think this is a wrong list. And that's just how I feel. Maybe people who, the little viewers that we have may agree with that list. I don't agree with that list, but I'm just saying. Do you agree with the list? You're laughing, but do you agree with the list? I agree. So if you agree with the list, your whole case was Chingy wasn't one of the 50 worst rappers. Now you agree with the list. That's crazy because a couple of rappers I like on the list.
I see 50 Cent on the list. I agree with that. Young Jock is on the list. I agree with that. Young Buck is on the list. I agree with that.
I don't think he's one of the 50th worst rappers. May not be one. I don't think he's one. He
was. That whole G Unit crew was the worst. They were the worst. Yes. Yes.
Yes. No.
Yes. That whole G Unit crew was trash. Basura. They were bad. They knew they couldn't rap. If it wasn't the beef with Ja, no, I don't think Ja should have been on this. But if it wasn't for the beef with Ja Rule, they would have never. I don't think they would have made it. I personally agree with the list. I always said I don't think Little Kim could rap. But hey, that's my opinion. I mean,
one of the best female rappers ever.
Oh, you tried it.
No, I don't think. I think she's one of the better females that ever rap.
OMG. Okay, her and Trina, right? All right. I mean,
Trina's one of the OGs, but I'm saying I think Lil' Kim is more on a higher tier.
Okay.
She gets.
I feel like you saying it's a bad list because they have 50 and G Unit and they have D for Life and they have
No, Fab shouldn't be on that list. Jim Jones shouldn't be on that list. I don't think Nelly should have been on that list.
I think Nelly shouldn't have been on the list.
Yeah, I said Nelly and Lil' Kim should have been on that list.
They should have been on that list. But
both should be on the list.
Missy Elliott should not be on the list. But Trina and Kim should have been on the list.
Oh, so you're saying that's okay.
But I'm just saying they got it right when they said 50 Cent. I mean, they got it right.
That's when the list was like, oh fuck, what was these motherfuckers?
I know. Once I saw 50 Cent, I'm like, he gonna say this list is rigged, but it ain't rigged. I'm just saying they suck.
Our list.
All right.
Maybe we should, for next episode, we'll do our 50 worst rappers.
Oh, you don't want me to do that shit. It's gonna just be Doja Cat 1 through 50.
Well, maybe.
No. I don't think we should do 50. But I do think we should do 20. I think we should do 20.
20? That's fine. That's what we'll do.
But you're not gonna like my list.
It's not about liking the list. We both gonna come up with lists and we'll go from there.
You're gonna say my list is stupid.
The way you're talking, I already see some of the names that's already gonna be on your list. So it is what it is. That will be our segment for next week. We're gonna do 20.
They say P. Diddy is not on this list. That nigga sucks. Let me shut up because I'm gonna just make my list.
He's not really a rapper.
But Jermaine Dupri's not really a rapper either, but they put Jermaine Dupri on here.
All right. That's what I'm saying. People write their list.
I see how your list is gonna be, and this is gonna be we're gonna have to have a big segment on next week for our 20 list because boy oh boy, that's gonna take some time.
Oh, that will be next week. Now we're gonna keep the music. We're gonna transition to Xscape. Is to be honored with the Lady of Soul Award at the Soul Train Awards.
Can we do the 20 worst R&B groups too? Fuck.
You not a big fan of them?
I like maybe 2 of their songs, and 2 of their songs is probably the songs you know. It is pick up your shoes and relax your feet. Party all down to that one, you know. And tell me, Another song you know by Xscape.
I know the first one you said.
You probably know all I need from you is understanding. Okay, you probably don't even know.
They don't have enough music to be. That's what you're saying.
Man, they don't. And again, people always say let's give flowers when they're alive, but if we gonna give flowers, let's just give flowers to Candy. And I'm gonna explain why I say this. Not to dishonor what the rest of them have done, but or whatever they say they have done, because they haven't done shit. But Candy, out of all of them, is the only one who made music that's hit Billboard charts that made millions of dollars, right? A Scrub, she made the song Scrub. That shit was like, but you.
I want to say, didn't Tiny write get a writing credit on Ed Sheeran's song? What's the name of that Ed Sheeran song? That shit a few years back, that was like really popular. You probably heard it everywhere you went. Tiny got a writing credit on that. I don't know if she wrote the song, but she has a writing credit on that song. I'll tell you right now. Give me a second. Right. Oh man, my brain is horrible.
She wrote Bugaboo for Destiny's Child. She's wrote Bills for Destiny's Child. She wrote Ex-Girlfriend for Mariah Carey. She wrote There You Go by Pink. That shit was a hit. There you go. Like, she wrote makes me ill for NSYNC.
Oh, they both got a writing credit for it. Tiny and Candy both got a writing credit for Ed Sheeran. Shape of You. They both got
right.
For the song.
She wrote songs for Ariana Grande. What I'm trying to tell you is, Johnny, she has wrote hits. My only problem here is Xscape hasn't done much.
You're basically saying as a group, you feel like they haven't done much, but as a collective of them outside overall adds to what, plus what the group, enough for them to be honored. So basically, because you're saying give Candy her flowers, so you're saying she did the group stuff and then she went and did her own thing, but since she was part of the group, it's still like a branch off of the group. So you add that plus what the group is and you honor all of them. That's basically what
right. Right.
Nothing wrong with that, Nothing wrong with that.
And if they're gonna give them the flowers, they better give Jermaine Dupri his flowers too, because he wrote all those songs.
Yeah, but they was the ones who performed, what I'm trying to say is they was the ones who performed it.
It doesn't matter.
Jermaine it plays a role.
Listen, when I think of awards being given, I just feel like people who've done the most should get the awards. That's just me personally. I hate that just because you've been in the industry for this amount of years, that you just deserve your flowers. You don't. You don't deserve your flowers just for being in the industry. You don't deserve flowers for that shit, my nigga.
If you was able to still, be in the industry for a good 20 years, I think you should get a nod. Like, shout out to you.
Been in the industry and been active for 20 years. 100%, Johnny. Get your flowers. Get your shit. If you've been in the industry and have been active for 20 years, 100%, get your fucking flowers.
Yeah, but it's different types of actors. You can be active in the background. You know what I'm trying to say? You can still be active in the industry just in the background, producing, writing, and stuff like that.
They're not active in the background, man. They're not active in the background. They're not active in the front round. They're not active nowhere. Just because their music is just because they put albums, that doesn't mean they fucking active, and it doesn't mean that they fucking good. Listen, I'm over this flower giving shit just to everybody, like every fucking body. You want to honor somebody? Honor fucking Bobby, fucking New Edition or something. I don't fucking know. Boys to Men is one of those groups that's never been honored, and they should be because motherfuckers like they ones who still active. They got all these little kid bands and kid groups and shit. They got that little girl who sings like Mariah Carey. Like, fuck, honor their asses. I listen. I'm tired of everybody just being honored. You get a flower and you get flowers. Like, no, it doesn't. It's losing the point of you being the GOAT. A lot of people made this with that, but when they're gonna honor Bow Wow? Bow Wow needs flowers too. Bow Wow should get flowers, but we don't say nothing about that.
Eventually he will.
But you see, he shouldn't be the one who eventually he will. He should. He should have been got his motherfucking flowers because that nigga's still selling out arenas and still selling out shows for music that when we were kids.
Yeah, of course. Bow
But
is
nobody had that conversation.
no Bow is a legend, but he'll get his award eventually. Probably.
Yeah, he should get it eventually after Xscape. He should get it before Xscape. He should get it before a lot of people gotten their flowers.
They had a conversation about this. You should be talking about like a cutoff time. Remember we had a conversation about this. When is like a proper cutoff time to actually give these type of awards to certain people? 15, 20 years. We had a conversation about this. But,
I don't think Xscape should get no fucking flowers.
well, shout outs to them. They will be receiving their award. But we're going to transition to we're gonna skip that. We're gonna skip that. We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna go straight into can anyone surpass the king of pop himself? So apparently there's been conversation which led to Michael Jackson's son responding to people Harry Styles, the new king of pop. So I disagree with that title. I think that's a title you just can't give anyone. And no, Michael Jackson's son made a good point, but can anyone surpass Michael Jackson as the king of pop? And with that question, would Harry Styles be first in line to be called the king of pop if he was to hand the title off? Even though I don't think anyone can hand the title off, there will never be another king. It's only one king, but that's just my opinion. So, first question is, can anybody surpass it? And question number two, if it was someone to be that level or to surpass, would it be Harry Styles? What you gotta say about that?
I don't know. I don't know who gave Michael Jackson the king of pop.
Oh my God. The people?
Wow.
The people?
And you just answered your own question. If it was the people who gave Michael the king of pop, why can't the people give Harry Styles the king of pop?
That's so disrespectful.
Oh my God, here we go.
And so disrespectful.
What makes it disrespectful, Johnny?
For one, Harry Styles, when he first started music, they was in a group, correct? He was in a group with like other people.
So was Michael.
No, I'm not gonna discredit him because he was in a group. I'm just saying he was in a group, correct? I just feel like, obviously, I don't listen to him, but I just feel like I've never heard a song of his anywhere. Like maybe it's just maybe I have and didn't know it was him, but I just feel like there's certain pop songs you hear. Just when you go to certain places, you hear certain pop songs. That's just like the go-to music for stores and generally they just play pop music. I just felt like I've never heard. I don't know. I feel like if you name other pop artists, I probably will know a song right off the bat, but I just don't know any song of it. Not to discredit him, he probably big as shit, but I know whatever. I forgot the name of the group he was in.
One Direction.
Yes, I was a song that was definitely played up. I forgot what song it was when we was in college. There's that one song. It was playing that shit a lot, but other than that, ask Mike was the fucking goat. There's no debate. Praise somebody, you know what I'm trying to say? You could praise somebody, but by praising them, you don't have to throw them into waters they're not prepared for, man. Michael Jackson's the fucking GOAT. He's forever gonna be the GOAT. There's no surpassing him. His impact is just like, no, his impact is just unquestioned. He's the GOAT. It is what it is. It is what it is.
How many times in a week do you listen to Michael Jackson?
Times in a week? I don't know. Every now and then.
Right.
Now and then.
Then he's not the GOAT if you don't listen to him.
That's not true.
That's true.
I don't gotta listen to him every day. For him to be the GOAT. It's just like, oh shit, I'm in the mood to listen to Mike, I'll listen to some Mike. It's just whatever I'm in the mood to listen to. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, he's the GOAT. It's no. I'm pretty sure how many times you listen to Beyonce in a day.
You want me to be honest?
Yeah.
Do you want the honest answer?
Yeah.
I listen to Beyonce every day on my way to work.
Okay.
Every day. I listen to all albums.
I saw about how many times in a day do you listen to? Just once a day? Like,
well, that's because I'm at work.
Don't see that one playlist? Okay.
But I listen to Beyonce every day. I'm not even lying. No cap. I listen to Beyonce. If anybody's becoming the new pop star, it's Beyonce. I listen to fucking Beyonce every day.
I legit believe you. But I'm just saying, like, because, you know, I'm just saying because you consider someone a GOAT doesn't mean you gotta listen to them every day. You know? Because at the end of the day, your favorite artist may not be the GOAT, and you may be listening to your favorite artist. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, your favorite artist may not be considered the greatest at their, you know, field, R&B, rap, or what it may be, but you may be listening to that artist every single day.
Johnny, what the fuck just happened?
I don't know. It kind of like.
Right. You might have to delete that.
Yeah, I'm gonna delete it. What I was saying was, there could be an artist that you listen to every day. As an artist that you enjoy, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're the GOAT. It's just an artist that you really like. And also with that being said, because they're a GOAT doesn't mean you listen to them every day, but you just know when you listen to them, you feel the impact of the songs that they've put out. And, you know, there's a few GOATs or people capable of GOAT status, but when it comes to, you know, pop, the king of pop, there is only one, and there will forever only be one. But not to discredit the name that they put next to him. There's none against him. He may be great. People love him. Had a big fan base. But people need to chill out, cool out. You know what I'm trying to say? He's doing his thing, but whatever he's doing just doesn't compare, and not to downplay him or downgrade him. Keep doing what you're doing, but just know none compares to the GOAT that is Michael Jackson.
Okay.
My opinion.
All right.
I feel some will agree, some won't, but it is what it is. Now we are going to transition to another ongoing saga that's been officially put to a close. Elon Musk officially owns Twitter. There's been certain reports, like on the day that he officially bought Twitter, that what it said at a 500% rate. It was said. What was it? 500%.
Yeah.
500%. People basically was testing what's the boundary of it all, testing the boundaries. And basically on the first day it was announced he officially owned it. People basically went onto Twitter and was trying to test out the boundaries of this free speech and what you're allowed to be said on Twitter. Free speech is free speech. Hate speech is hate speech. Everyone, has the right to freedom of speech. Even though you do have that right, I will hope you don't use your right to, channel hate speech. I just think with that, it was just a whole bunch of trolls that just wanted to, oh shit, he said since when he takes over, censorship is going to be more lightened and certain things of that nature. And I think people just wanted to see, oh no, I feel like it was more of trolling than actual, it's still, harmful speech, but I think it was just more of trolling just to see what could be said and what couldn't be said. And it was his first day. I'm pretty sure he implement or set the ground rules of how the platform is going to be run. Obviously, people are going to agree to disagree with that. If it becomes more of a problem, I'm pretty sure we'll see more people abandoning and leaving the platform. But I'm pretty sure even before he owned the website and it became official, people were still saying what they were saying. Because even with these social media sites, there's loopholes to a lot of, there's just loopholes. So it's like, you could word it differently. You could do, little tweaks to certain things, and you'll still get.
I think that's true. But for you to say nigger on there and use the actual word nigger, it doesn't have the same effect if you going around and using little words, like different words here. Okay, but when you actually say the word nigger and your account does stay up and you're Caucasian and you're fucking saying it as a slur to us, and your page now doesn't get that hate crime page or hate crime shit, or we can't take your page down, that's where the problem starts.
Well, I don't know the rules or regulations of how that platform's gonna go from here on out now. But I do think the platform will still take the appropriate actions for certain words and certain things. While it might be lighter on certain things and other stuff, but I think that first day was just a troll day. Let's see how it plays out. If the numbers continue to be at a certain, at a higher rate, then it's like, okay, there's an issue that needs to be addressed. Maybe people don't need to wait, for that to take place. But I just feel like, that's just my opinion. I think the platform itself should, give it a little bit of time and see if numbers stay the same, then something has to be fixed. If numbers drop and it was just like a spur of the moment. For those who trolled, should be obviously, appropriately dealt with through the platform. For those who troll, because even trolling shouldn't be trolling with that word. But I say just give some time, see how it goes.
Well, I'm not on Twitter, so because I can't stand Twitter.
Say
Twitter's just a place where people go and they be too emotional on there. Like I fucking hate emotional people that
That's
just
all social media. People be emotional on all social media.
nah. Twitter people fucking be Twitter's it's a whole different ball game. I don't care what you say. Twitter's a whole different ball game. Twitter be annoying as hell. I don't care what you say, Johnny.
Yo, that should be on all social media platforms.
Nah, Twitter is really like emotional people just go on Twitter.
But hopefully we get that together and fix it up. But Elon Musk officially owns Twitter. We'll see. We'll keep an eye on that how that shit plays out. We're gonna transition to some other sad news. 146 people were killed in South Korea at a Halloween event. I think a stampede. It was like a Halloween thing, and the stampede broke out. People got trampled. People were hurt, and unfortunately, 146 people were killed. Condolences to all that are affected by that, but it's just very unfortunate news. I don't even know, like, hey, that just sounds terrible. What was your initial thoughts when you seen that?
I don't go on Halloween.
Is that
I
what?
don't celebrate Halloween, Johnny. I don't go out. I took a cab to work and a cab home. Because people out there don't know how to act. They don't know how to fucking act. And especially on a day like Halloween, they don't know how to act. And I refuse to be stuck in a situation where that's why I don't go to like and it's so sad in the world we live in that you have to say like, this is why I don't go to festivals. This is why I don't go to parades. This is why I don't do this. I don't do that, because there's a chance you may get in stampede, or you may get hurt, or something happens. I personally,
151 people. It was 151 people died, and it was just people flooded the streets for the Halloween thing, and people started pushing each other, and then I just
but that's what I'm telling you, Johnny. This is why I don't go out for these. I don't celebrate Halloween. I would never go out for Halloween. But for other stuff like Christmas, like the Christmas parade or the Thanksgiving parade, you just won't catch me out there because of dumb shit like this. Dumb shit like this causes people to be like, you know what, I don't want to be there. And so because of that, I'd rather not. If that makes sense. I'd rather not. And it's so sad that you can't even take your kids to a freaking parade anymore because shit like this can happen. Period. Whether I celebrate it or not. I'm not gonna go there and mess up somebody else's fun or mess up anything else somebody else is going on. But this is the world we live in today where everybody is just it's a mess.
it's just very unfortunate and sad. But again, prayers and condolences to all those affected. And I don't know. I don't know how they let it get so crazy where they stampede over each other. I know everybody wants to celebrate. Pandemic seems to be loosening up. Things is being going back to regular, and I'm pretty sure.
No pandemic.
I'm pretty sure this is probably one of their first events they've hosted since the pandemic.
Right, that's your pandemic.
So it's like it's just very unfortunate, and I think this is it's just very unfortunate this took place, but it's sad, and unfortunate. But now we're going to transition into a segment that we did like intro piece before. We did intro piece beforehand, but now this is gonna be the first of many other segments in the future, but this will be the first one, and this segment is basically ASO conspiracies, and conspiracies topic for today is going to be Princess Diana. And the reason why I chose this was I was gonna do this last week, but I had seen the trailer. You know, when you watch like YouTube or whatnot, they'll do trailers. So Netflix has a show called The Crown, and it's basically about the royal family. So basically, season 4 they introduced Princess Diana. I haven't watched the show. I haven't. I've heard the show. I've never tuned into it yet, but I may tune into this season just because I know this is going to be the season where they're going to talk about the shit. So
it was the first season was really good. Go back and watch the first season. I watched it.
I'm gonna watch it, but so season 4 they introduced Princess Diana, but a younger version of her.
Right.
It seems like season 5 is gonna cover, the actual, her older and the actual events and then what led to her passing. And there's been so many theories and conspiracies on what took place. And I'm just interested to see what route the show takes place, because the initial cause of her death is a car accident, which was at first blamed by the paparazzi, and then they retracted and blamed the driver. They said the driver was drunk. The driver was drunk.
Which is bullshit, but
Which I don't believe. But then it's like after many other details came out. So what the conspiracy is that basically some people feel like that accident wasn't really an accident; it was more of a murder, and that's where the conspiracy theories lie. To go with that, one of the part of the theories was, to name a few things why people felt like, that she was killed. Obviously, she was married to the prince who would eventually who's currently the king now. She was married to Prince Charles, who's currently serving as the king. They also had children together, but they separated from each other in the 90s. And she was basically she was dating a Egyptian Muslim man, and I'm pretty sure that didn't that didn't look too well for, I guess I wouldn't say that, but maybe the royal family wasn't a big fan of her dating an Egyptian Muslim, an Egyptian man who was Muslim. I don't think that to them wasn't a good look for her. They stated that no one in the car was wearing a seatbelt at the time of the accident.
Which is normal.
Which is possible at that time. In those times, seatbelt wasn't as emphasized as it now is, and how it is emphasized now in current times versus those times it wasn't as emphasized. But I don't know about that, but that's what they say, that's what they say. Also, one of the rumors also is that she was possibly going to marry her boyfriend, and she was also.
The conspiracy I heard was that she was going to tell all their secrets. She was tired of being blackballed or blackmailed into doing things, and she was over it, and she was gonna tell all their fucking secrets. And the minute that they heard that, and we didn't even get to see the car accident. If you watch the conspiracy theory, it happened in like a tunnel type of. So we don't even really know what happened in there. So it's like.
What's the question, Bree? That tunnel has a camera, but they said the camera stopped working the night before the accident. So it's like, okay, so the camera was working every day, but the night before the accident, that's when the camera magically just stops working. The night before, right? And also, another thing they said that they withheld was she wrote a note to, I think, her butler, which it was like a little letter where she said they was gonna kill her in a car accident. They planned on killing her, and the way they're gonna kill her is through a car accident. And this was a note that Princess Diana had wrote, and it information that was held. Wow. So basically, while they did their initial, like their initial investigation, this was something that was, I think, given to the police or whoever, and it was held down to, and it was released years later. Like it was released 6 years after the event. But it's like,
what bothers me, Johnny, is if you know how you gonna die, would you get in a car? If I knew, right? If God told me right now, Sabrina, you gonna die by an airplane. You think I'm getting an airplane? All jokes aside.
I know. I said the point. I understand the point you're making, but it's like with that, I'm pretty sure she still, with her security, made the proper adjustment. That her knowing that that's how their plan was, she still had to get from place to place, you know. But I said the point you make is like, with that, it's like, holy, like that's how they're gonna try to do me. Yeah, I'm just not gonna get in the car. They're just gonna have to try something else. I completely understand that point, but it's like, at the end of the day, she still has to travel. She has to get to certain places. So it's like, it's a little crazy. Another thing I seen, like when I was watching like a video breaking down the initial, like, basically talking about the accident. They basically, the two people in the front died instantly. Her boyfriend, I think he was in the front passenger seat, and the driver, they were both instantly killed. Her and her bodyguard were in the back, and they didn't get killed instantly, so they survived the initial accident. The bodyguard ended up surviving the overall accident. Princess Diana was still alive when they transported her to the hospital, and that also fuels speculation because they said it took them an hour to get her to like the nearest hospital. I don't know, like, the distances or what hospital was closest, or if that, like, why did it take so long to get there, Maybe that play a role in her death, that the fact that it took so long to get to the hospital. But it's just like, this is just one of the many conspiracies. It's like, I'm for it. I don't really trust the government. So if I don't trust my own government, I ain't trusting the next country's government. So, and apparently she just knew certain shit that her position allowed her to know. I'm not gonna say she knew certain shit that she wasn't supposed to know. She was in a position that made her,
Right.
it made her open to know certain shit. Maybe she didn't want to know certain shit, but she was in a position that put her in the front lines to know certain shit. Is like, shit.
I think Princess Diana was one of those few princesses or few white people that she was trying to give back to community. She was trying to be honest, trying to be just transparent, and they didn't like that shit. They didn't like it at all, man. They didn't like that Princess Diana had a voice and she was going to speak for the people, to the people, and I think that caused some.
I think that definitely caused friction because she was definitely not to. Just looking on the outside, and I was young, I'm trying to say, but she died in '96. I was what, 5? I was 5. I remember, like, I'm talking about like the news, like that in the news and whatnot. But obviously, I don't know what's really going on. But I know that was something that was very heavy.
If you watch the show on Netflix, it explains her beginning, and that shit is crazy.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie, I seen the trailer for the newest season, and I know they're gonna cover the new season. I'm interested to see what route they take on this. Are they gonna dismiss all conspiracies, or they?
No, they're not. But that's what I'm saying. You have to watch the younger version of her because they started speaking conspiracy then. Johnny, you gotta watch it.
I'm gonna watch it. I'm definitely gonna watch the show. But that sparked my whole interest. I'm like, this is a conspiracy theory I've read upon, as I got older and got into conspiracy theories.
But that's what I'm trying to say. They speak about the conspiracy of her, even as a child. Like, there's been conspiracies that she, I don't want to give it away because then you're not gonna watch the show. But go watch it because they all they do is talk conspiracy.
I'm gonna watch it. Might have to do a part 2 to this. After that new season drops, I'll watch and I'll catch up. Might have to do like a part 2 to this, to her story and her conspiracy. But I think
Nobody ever thought she just died in a car accident, though. They stupid. Like nobody thought that. Nobody ever just thought that. Everybody kind of knew that she was killed. The way that it was handled and dealt with, it just seems too. Mm-mm.
yeah, it's just like we're just car accident. We're just gonna keep it pushing. Maybe the paparazzi played a role in it because they said the paparazzi was following them, and it was basically the driver was trying to get away from them. But maybe it wasn't paparazzi the driver was trying to get away from. Maybe it was something else or someone else that the driver was trying to get away from, and that's why they were really speeding. And then what happened. And then,
Right.
but it's just very unfortunate. She seemed like she was someone that was, I would say, born into a good situation, and even though she was a princess, she seemed to actually be someone that actually cared for the people and was going to, no matter what of her position, she did what she could for. And I don't know. And she was definitely someone that ruffled the establishment's feathers. So she wasn't someone was for the establishment, and she definitely ruffled their feathers and rubbed them the wrong way. And do I think she did enough for them to say, "Oh, yeah, it's time to check her"? Like, no, take her out. Possibly. But I don't. From what I've seen, what I've read, I don't think that was just an accident. I think that might have been a planned investigation, but it's fortunate to. Man, that's crazy. 96. That's 20,
I was 6 years old.
26 years ago. 26 years ago. Oof. It's a little kid when that first happened, but yeah. Well, I'm definitely gonna watch the show, and we're definitely do a part 2. We're definitely gonna do a part 2 today, and we'll continue the story. But this is one of the many popular conspiracy theories that's out in this world. I feel like the word conspiracy theory has taken a hit over the years with a flooding of information and whatnot, but
yeah, we still got the conspiracy theory on Suge Knight and fucking Tupac that they still talk about to this day.
it's plenty. It's plenty. It's just plenty. I'm trying to say, like, but I just feel like this is one of the conspiracy theories. Some people just were popular figures. That's the quick thing to go to, like, conspiracy and whatnot. But I just feel like this is one of the many situations that just warrants other thoughts in the initial reports that they gave us. Because, like, they gave us, car accident and whatnot. But then you really look into it, it's like, okay, she said this is how they're going to kill her. And then that's how she actually died. Her driver was apparently drunk.
Yeah.
So she wasn't on good terms with her ex-husband or husband. I don't know what their title was, but she wasn't with him at the time. So there's a lot of stuff going on, and she was speaking out against other things. So it's just like, ooh, this is really one of the ones that actually there's a lot of fuel to the fire. There's a lot of fuel to the fire. But we'll definitely, I'm going to try to binge watch The Crown. Season 5 should be coming out soon. I gotta get through 4 seasons. I'll eventually get to 4 seasons. I'll do it. And we'll do a part 2 in the future, but this is ASO's conspiracy segment. And that being said, that's a wrap on this brand new episode of Another Shit Podcast. It's your boy John, my co-host Bree, and we are out.